Okay, so we've got a exam question here that's about the structure of cells and organelles. It says figure 7.1 shows a structure visible in the light micrograph of a generalized animal cell. So it's generalized, so it's not given as a specialized cell, and it's telling us it's using a light micrograph. So it's using a light microscope. We've then got the diagram of the cell, figure 7.1, and you can clearly see that you've got different organelles. Organelles are basically mini organs that all have a particular function. The question asks us to identify the structures labeled D to H. So we've got to identify all 5 structures. So just looking at the diagram then, let's talk about this. Well, we can see we've got structures here outside of the membrane. So they're going to be cilia or microvilli. So cilia might be found in the trachea, the lungs, wafted mucus, microvilli in the small intestine for absorbing digested food. We've then got this large structure here, and you can clearly see the strands of DNA inside that structure. So that must be the nucleus. We've got sausage structures here that have got a folded double membrane. So these are mitochondria. Inside the nucleus, you've got this round structure here. This is the nucleolus, involved in the production of ribosomes or production of ribosomal RNA. You've got dots here. These little dots are ribosomes involved in the production and protein synthesis. Close to the nucleus, and always found close to the nucleus, is this structure, which is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, which is involved in protein synthesis for excretion out of the cell. You can see that it has got these little black dots, which are the ribosomes attached to it. The structure here is Golgi body, involved in the modification of proteins for excretion, and you can see here that you've got vesicles coming off the Golgi body, and that's for transporting substances around the cell. You've got these round structures here, which will be the lysosomes. Which are involved in, they've got digestive enzymes inside of it, so they'll be involved in cell apoptosis, cell death, or if this was a white blood cell, they'd be involved in the digestion of any engulfed microorganism. So I think that's covered all the structures we have here. So now we've just got to answer the question. The question says parts D, E, F, G, and H. So if we look at D, oh yeah, we didn't talk about this. So the outside structure is the cell plasma membrane. Okay, don't just say cell membrane. So D is the plasma membrane. You've got to say plasma, don't just say cell membrane. All right, you can say cell surface membrane, but not just cell membrane. E, we've got the Golgi body. You can say Golgi apparatus. F is this membrane bound structure here. All right, so that's a vesicle. If you did write lysosome, they would mark it correct because it possibly could be a lysosome. If you look at these two structures, they do look very similar. G, you've got to be careful with this because a lot of students would write nucleus, but it's pointing to this structure here, just on the outside. So it's the nuclear membrane or envelope. And finally, H is this structure here that we talked about. So we've identified that as rough ER. All right, you've got to say rough because you don't want to get mistaken with smooth ER. So rough ER. All right. The way you need to write it is endoplasmic reticulum or RER. You can write that, and the R is there, it stands for rough. You might have wrote ribosome because it isn't exactly clear. It might be pointing to a single ribosome, so that would be correct. Very few students in the exam stated this as rough ER. Many stated it as the nuclear membrane. Okay, thank you.